All right, let's talk about financial planning. We hear about it all the time, right? Save this, invest that. But have you ever really stopped to think about what the actual goal is? Because I'm willing to bet it's not what most people think it is.
I mean, think about it for a second. For so many of us, money is this constant source of stress, right? It's just the number we're always chasing, always worried about. But what if we could just flip that whole script? What if your money wasn't a source of stress, but the very tool that helps you build the life you actually want to live? That's what we're going to dig into.
Okay, so this is where financial planning becomes a total game changer. It's all about shifting your focus. Instead of just piling up money for the sake of it, you start seeing it as a tool. A way to actually fund a life that feels meaningful to you. It's so much more than just a number in your bank account.
And that right there is the core idea. Seriously, financial planning isn't some boring exercise in crunching numbers on a spreadsheet. No way. It's about building a system, a personal system that connects your money to what you actually want out of life. The whole point is to get you security and, maybe most importantly, some genuine peace of mind.
So here's how we're going to break this all down. We'll look at it in 4 parts. First, as your blueprint for life. Second, as a financial shield. Third, as your engine for growth. And finally, we'll talk about the ultimate payoff of doing all this.
All right, first up, your blueprint for life. Think about it. Financial planning is basically the process of taking all those big, kind of vague dreams you have and turning them into something real, something with concrete, actionable steps. It gives them structure and a clear road to follow.
And these goals are probably things you've thought about a lot, right? Buying a house, maybe a car, making sure your kids can go to a good school, starting your own business, or just, finally taking that big trip. These are the whys behind all the saving and working. And a good plan is what connects your everyday money habits directly to hitting these huge, important milestones.
And this is where the magic really happens. A plan forces you to get super specific. You go from saying, I want to retire someday to, okay, I'm going to retire in 25 years with this much income. See the difference? Once you have a clear goal and a timeline, then you can build the right strategy to actually make it happen. It takes a fuzzy hope and makes it a real, achievable target.
Okay, moving on to part 2. Let's talk about building your financial shield. Because let's be real, life is totally unpredictable. A great plan isn't just about growing your money, it's also about making sure you're protected when things inevitably go wrong.
These curveballs life throws at you are often called financial shocks. And they can really come out of nowhere, A sudden job loss, a big medical emergency, stuff you just can't plan for. And if you don't have a plan in place, a shock like that can completely blow up your long-term goals and cause a mountain of stress.
So what does this financial shield look like? Well, it's really built on 3 key things. First, an emergency fund. That's your cash cushion. Second, having the right insurance coverage. That's your safety net. And third, managing your debt responsibly. When you have these 3 things working together, you can be pretty sure that one bad day isn't going to wreck your entire financial future.
All right, so we've got the blueprint, we've got the shield. Now it's time to talk about the fun part, the engine. This is the part of your plan that's all about actively building wealth and making your money start working for you. And the name of the game here is efficiency. It's not just about trying to save more and more money. It's about making every single dollar you have work as hard as it possibly can. Whether that dollar is for enjoying life today or for investing for tomorrow, the goal is zero wasted potential.
This really gets at one of the trickiest parts of managing money, finding the right balance. And a good plan helps you find that perfect sweet spot. On one hand, it stops you from saving so much that you forget to live and enjoy your life right now. But on the other hand, it keeps you from overspending today and putting your future self in a tough spot. It's all about that balance.
So how do you actually do that? Well, there are 3 proven strategies that really power your growth engine. First, there's the magic of compounding. That's where your earnings start making their own earnings. It's incredible. Then there's long-term investing, which is all about patience and riding out the market's natural ups and downs. And finally, there's smart asset allocation, which is just a fancy way of saying you're balancing your investments to manage risk. Put these 3 together, and you've got the keys to building wealth systematically over the long haul.
Okay, so we've covered the blueprint, the shield, and the engine. We've got all the pieces. But what is it all actually for? What's the end goal? Well, that brings us to the ultimate payoff.
I love this quote. It really just hits the nail on the head. Financial planning transforms money from a constraint into an enabler. Think about that. With a real plan in place, money stops being this big thing that limits you and holds you back. Instead, it becomes the very thing that enables you, that empowers you to live your life completely on your own terms.
Because at the end of the day, this whole thing isn't about who can die with the biggest bank account. It's about who can live with the most freedom. It's about having the confidence to take a risk, to change careers if you want to. It's about being able to handle a big emergency without totally panicking. It's about that deep down peace of mind that only comes from feeling truly secure. That is the real ROI here.
So there you have it. The real goal is to build a life, not just a bigger bank account. It's all about security, freedom, and making those dreams of yours a reality. And that really just leaves one last question for you to think about. What's the very first step you're going to take on your roadmap?